This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about Howie Roseman. Yes, he did TJ Edwards dirty. Also, we're going to talk about Howie Roseman already making moves. And lastly, we got to talk about Nick Sirianni. Important meeting today, but let's get straight into it. All right, man. Let's just get straight into the topics today, man. Let's not if ands or buts skip around it. You know, everybody kept saying, man, during the off season, during the season, even now, why didn't the Eagles resign TJ Edwards? And a lot of us theories, at least my theory was like, okay, TJ Edwards, he went to Wisconsin. He grew up a Chicago Bears fan. Makes sense, they offered him 3 million, 19 and a half during that 3 year span. Wanted to go home, maybe be closer to family. That made sense, right? For only to come out Clay Harbor, who A was a part of the Chicago Bears, and B probably talked to TJ Edwards directly, like, yo, why didn't you resign with the Eagles? Like, what happened there? And to find out, and that's just an assumption there, because he said per source, he said TJ Edwards wanted to come back to the Eagles. He wanted to come back. And Howie Roseman never offered him a contract. Howie Roseman hate for the linebacker position has to be studied. Like, we have to go to a lab and study why Howie Roseman just don't like linebackers. My theory always been why he don't like linebackers is because we won the Super Bowl. Think about the positions he takes serious and don't take serious, right? He takes serious the O line and D line. And you can say the O line and D line is the reason why we won the Super Bowl. Having a deep O line and protecting Nick Foles and having a deep D line, and hell, even the Brandon Graham sack on Tom Brady saved the Super Bowl. But we won it with a mediocre linebacker core, and I like Nigel Bradham, but he wasn't at his best. And Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills on the outside, like, we won the Super Bowl with that personnel. A lot of heart, a lot of the underdog status. We know how that year went, and it was lovely. It was great. But even after the Super Bowl, even after we won, we like, yo, we got to take some of these other positions serious, and they end up biting us the following year. And the following year caused coaches to get fired. And then, Nick Sirianni came along, and we went with the same formula. Deep O-line, deep D-line. Don't take the linebacker core serious. Don't take the cornerback position serious or the safety position serious. But it was something about last year, our Super Bowl year. And I'm like, okay, maybe we are starting to take some of these positions serious, because obviously Slay was still here. You signed James Bradbury, who was a really good corner for the Giants at the time. They went and got CJ Gardner-Johnson. And I'm like, okay, maybe we starting to, turn a new leaf, take some of these positions serious, and not just the D-line and O-line. And we went to the Super Bowl. And I don't know how we did this going into this year. When we went into this season, we knew we was going to lose a lot of players. But my thing was, you had to keep some of your younger talent. Even if you have to lose James Bradbury or Darius Slay at the time, of course. Everybody want to get rid of James Bradbury now. But at the time, we like, okay, keep one veteran corner, but you have to sign TJ Edwards. You had to sign CJ Gardner-Johnson. So soon as free agency opened and I seen TJ Edwards was signed, I'm like, okay, Chicago. Again, I'm thinking they offered them the bag. And to find out they really didn't. I mean, look at the numbers. TJ Edwards had 2.5 sacks, 100+ tackles, and like his numbers were insane. A Pro Bowler. I mean, he was the steal of free agency. He was the steal. In my opinion, man, how we did him dirty, because you got to think, why would TJ Edwards just want to leave the Eagles? I mean, took a risk on him. He was undrafted. We let him work his way up, and we seen the progress. Like TJ Edwards, his development is crazy. He can cover better. We already knew he was a hitter. He could get sideline to sideline better. And Howie Roseman just went extremely cheap. Even with CJ Gardner Johnson. It was between CJ Gardner Johnson or Slay because we signed James Bradbury, which I thought was wrong anyway. You should have found a way to sign Slay first because he'd been with the Eagles for a while. And you should have found a way to sign CJ Gardner Johnson, and we just would have lived without loss with James Bradbury. Or even if you didn't sign neither and you just signed TJ Edwards and CJ Gardner Johnson, we would have went into the season like, you know what? We're going to develop this young talent on the corners. Avonte Mattis is going to be our veteran nickel. Let's go into this draft, really focus on cornerbacks and getting another, defensive lineman. That just would have been Jalen Carter. I think we should have won in with that mindset. We should have kept our younger talent. We should have kept the younger talent in house. CJ Gardner Johnson didn't want to really leave, but he want to get compensated. But to not offer TJ Edwards a contract at all is a crime. It's a crime. It's criminal. It's criminal. And I love Howie Roseman. I'm not saying he should get fired for this or anything like that. I'm just saying his hate for the linebacker core has to be studied. It has to be studied. Like, what do he think we could win without linebackers? Honestly, how far you think we can go without linebackers? You're not going to get to your promised land without linebackers. Just not. I get it, corner. We in the league where it's a passing league, but sometimes teams will be like, you know what? We're just going to run the ball. And to have all that belief in Nakobe Dean, and honestly, I don't even think it was just this extreme belief in Nakobe Dean. I think it was just being cheap. We signed this linebacker to a rookie deal. Even if you want Nakobe Dean, you got to bring a veteran beside him. Not said that all offseason. I'm like, bring a nice veteran beside him. You had one in-house already in TJ Edwards. And what's been our problem all season? The linebacker core. All season, we complained about the linebacker core and the safety play. The linebacker core and the safety play. And we tried to replace them with guys that haven't been here. Kevin Byard is a legend in Tennessee, not in Philadelphia. It's just simple as that. CJ Gardner Johnson brought that heart to Philadelphia. TJ Edwards, again, homegrown. You think Nicholas Morrow and Zach Cunningham, all these dudes that we tried to sign that line with Shaq Leonard, these dudes' love is not for Philadelphia. It's not. And we were missing heart. Heart was missed. Us. Again, Howie, I don't know. But then let's get into the next topic. How we will make moves like this. Austin Watkins. I liked him a lot during the preseason. Hell, he cooked us. He signed a future contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe even if he's with the Philadelphia Eagles as of a couple weeks ago, he could have been a third wide receiver. Austin Watkins is better than Quez Watkins and Zacchaeus. I mean, that preseason game against us, 139 yards, I believe a touchdown or two. Like, he went off. He cooked Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks, anybody who put on those Zach Midfield. He was cooking everybody. Everybody. I like Austin Watkins a lot, and he really have a legit shot. If not playing the third wide receiver, at least like special teams or something. That speed he got is elite. But he showed he can play wide receiver in this league. We're talking about this 6'3" or 6'2" guy, 210, 205 pound type guy, nice body frame, pause. The dude can play. And for Howie to hop on that, I gotta get Howie respect. Like, okay, we out the playoffs. Time to start making moves. He did sign EJ Jenkins to tight end back. He's been on our practice squad for a while now. But that Austin Watkins move to get on him really quick is really good. And I heard he had other, teams he could have went to, but he chose the Eagles. So I like this move. I like that move a lot. All right, so let's get into the last but not least topic. Nick Sirianni meeting with Jeffrey Lurie today. Not sure how they're gonna do it. Supposed to be a snowstorm. If you live in the Northeast, supposed to be snowing really bad early. But they're gonna have their meeting. Nick Sirianni is basically going through the same thing Doug Peterson is going through. He's coming up with a game plan, how he's going to change the offense, how he's going to change the defense, how we're going to be better than basically now we might as well call it last year, and going into the new season, how we're going to improve, what's going to change. Honestly, all Nick Sirianni got to say, we're going to hire a really good established offensive coordinator, a really good established defensive coordinator, and I'm going to give up control to the offensive coordinator. If he come with that game plan, he's good. Because hell, Howie Roseman helping him out. Howie Roseman is reaching out to coordinators today. Like, do you want to join the coaching staff? And even with Howie Roseman reaching out to coordinators, that doesn't mean that Sirianni is safe. You got to remember, when we signed Nick Sirianni, certain guys were already signed. I believe we had Shane Steichen already on the squad, or Jonathan Gannon, one of the guys. And Nick Sirianni was coming in to be the face. Going into this year, they let Nick Sirianni get control. Who he do? What he do? He elevated Brian Johnson. At the time, it was the smart thing to do because basically Brian Johnson is Jalen Hurts, quarterback guru, whatever you want to say. And we thought he was just going to do basically the same thing Shane Steichen did, just put a little bit more tweaks to it. And I honestly went into the season like the offense has the potential of being better because all you got to do is tweak certain things. The offense will be fine. Defense, I thought we was going to elevate Denard Wilson. We was going to finally get out of that Vic Fangio scheme. We didn't. We decided to let him go. We wanted to keep the Vic Fangio scheme, so we went to go get Sean Desai. We already knew Sean Desai was young. He might mess up, so you signed Matt Patricia behind him. And that defensive side just imploded. The offensive side, I think Nick Sirianni got too much control. So imagine if he would have signed like a Frank Reich. Frank Reich would have been like, hell no, we not running your game plan. We running my job. So I think he just, Brian Johnson, I gave you this opportunity. We running this game plan. And nah, we need somebody that ain't going to let that happen. Like Shane Steichen had success with Justin Herbert. So he got status where though Nick Sirianni can't really pull rank on Shane Steichen. And we see what Shane Steichen doing in Indiana with our backup at the time, Gardner Minshew. So that's all Nick Sirianni has to do. Just give up the offensive play calling again. Give it to the offensive coordinator. Defensive side, got to get out of that Vic Fangio scheme. He will be good. But it'll be interesting how the meeting go, because it's like a damn if we do, damn if we don't. Because if we're going to sign another puppet as a head coach, does it really matter? No. But we try to get an established guy, which we haven't done in years. Even with Andy Reid built up his clout. But I believe when we signed Andy Reid as a head coach, I think he was like a quarterback coach for Green Bay or something like that. So we don't sign established guys. Just don't do it. It's like a damn if we do, damn if we don't. The players seem like they really like Nick Sirianni, but again, Nick Sirianni play calling just stinks. It sucks. But hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? The TJ Edwards thing, it's a crime, it's criminal. Don't like it at all. A homegrown guy, he got done dirty in my opinion. TJ Edwards got done dirty. I'm sorry. Also, the Austin Watkins move, man. Howie already making moves. Shout out to Howie. I can go for hating Howie into loving Howie. And Nick Sirianni meeting. How we think that's gonna go today? It's like a damn if we do, damn if we don't. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm up.